The Anunnaki, fallen angel, overlords and their Igigi Grey Alien biotech servants. My name is Vilgoroth, which means the vile hater. It is my duty to correct mankind on the history taught to humans that is completely falsified by our genetically altered leaders who have slept with the whore of Babylon. 4 chief angels of the 200 who descended onto Mount Jarn 460 years after Adamu, made a pact with themselves when seeing the Earth woman was compatible for their scientific breeding using genetic manipulation through altering genes in the genome of human and other life forms and then combining it to where it would produce hybrids or upgraded versions of Homo sapiens that would usually end up with some major abnormality that would either cause early death compared to the pure form of man made by the word Christ, for he was with God away from the beginning and created all things known to man and all of the angels, fallen and unfallen. For the angels wanted a lineage of their own and finally many warped life forms mixed with the generations of man to where soon races of men, scoring into the millions, were heavily seeded with the past manipulations, therefore appearing as if these angels made man completely, which was not the truth. Though, still these hybrid or altered humans had spirits, for anything born of man is of the spirit and flesh. But for the horrible Nephilim in the days of Noah, they will be called evil spirits, for evil spirits they are and still remain to this day, free to roam the earth, as Satan does, masquerading as angels of light. Yet the angels who transgressed against the Lord Yahshua, the head of days and Yahweh the Father were immediately cursed to lose heavenly entrance and after watching their close ancestral sons murder each other off, they were to be bound and cast into the depths of the earth, where the inner waters of great wrath and retribution lay. For 70 generations would they be bound until a short release before final judgment day, when they and Satan and all the evil transgressors who did not know their Lord and Creator will be forever condemned to hell.
So the fallen angels had to make a biotech servant called the Igigi, also known as the Greys. The Grey Aliens is so popular of modern day. It was very popular in ancient times also. They've been glamorized even in today's times. The Sumerians knew about them. The Egyptians knew about these Grey Aliens. But they were actually worker bees. Worker bees that would carry out plans of the Nephilim for generations after generations. And civilization after civilization would fall. That is why there are so many fallen civilizations all over the world. Examples would be many different types in South America, such as the Incan, the Mayan, the Aztec, the Olmec, American Indians even. There would be tribes in Australia, New Zealand, and Africa. There would be much older tribes that would worship sun gods and such in Africa, and Lower Egypt especially. The Nubians were considered the first of men, dark-headed people, or the black-headed people. King Sargon bragged about this very fact, that he ruled over the black people, such as Igigi carried out the plans of the Nephilim, to where Mayans were ruled, to where they would build such temples and do blood sacrifices on a regular basis in honor and for extra surplus and resources. There was much evil involved. And there was high technology, especially in the antediluvian age. The Great Flood was caused from an asteroid that had hit the Earth. It flooded the Earth and destroyed any civilizations before it. There were many catastrophes even before the flood, a warning from the God Yahweh about these cursed fallen angels and the Nephilim, their evil spirits. Now they would use genetics and use reptilian DNA, warped reptilian DNA at that. For the servant race was cursed. The Bible in several places warns, yes, all books of man has been manipulated to some degree. And even though the Bible has many books that should be there, such as the first book of Enoch, the first Ethiopic translation, before it had ever been touched and retranslated, which is the best version, which reveals many of these things quite openly, showing you the closer that you get to God, the more knowledge, true knowledge, to where you can see through this masquerade, through the illusions. Fallen angels claimed many things in the ancient Sumerian times, and the Egyptian times, and the Greece times, and the Roman times, all through Mesopotamian eras, through the Eastern eras, and the Chinese even. Japanese were also heavily influenced by these Igigi Greys. These UFOs, tails, and such weird beings, they all look demented though. They've been seen for centuries and centuries and centuries. So we know that they are there, but they are demonic, and people must realize this. For the spirits that inhabit them are demonic. They have been labeled as evil spirits, and that they would remain as evil spirits. When Nephilim blood was mixed in too heavily, it just showed the wickedness, and the body was overcome with the wickedness, to where it was no good anymore. That is why God had to destroy man off the face of the earth, with the exception of Osiris or Noah. Noah, known as the man who built an ark to the Hebrews, also was Osiris to the Sumerians. Yes, these Igigi Greys would scare many people. They would even get into the church or the Vatican, they would say, demonic forces overtaking them. Swapping out technology with certain leaders of our governments and the super elite. They were genetically modified so that they could breed, mostly for this blonde hair, blue eye idea, a pure race. But each time the idea of the pure race changing. But there were a blue-eyed, blue-haired people, or blonde-haired people, people, blue-eyed, blonde-haired people, that did rule over certain civilizations in the ancient past. Was this the first manipulated man, manipulated away from the black-headed people? Was this the first alteration done by the Anunnaki fallen angels? The GGs are still carrying out abductions to this very day, working with such people as Hitler, secret governments, Nazi organizations, secret societies, the Thule Society, back in the 50s, would know many secrets about these different types of aliens that said they came from different places, different solar systems, but yet not providing any real proof. I'm sure that they have claimed many things. They have claimed to be the star system Pleiades. But yet it is a star system. It does not mean they came from there, but maybe used it as an excuse to not let them know that they are bound to the earth anyways. But their spirits are never welcome back to the heavens. As the fallen angels would be cursed for 70 generations, and they would not return until the latter generation, right before the Great Judgment. Supposedly during the times of the Great Tribulations, just like back in the Sumerian times. It said, as in the days of Noah, it will be the end. Do not let these starry people, these bright shiny ones as I used to call them, be your downfall, and let them fool you. Using modern technology, using the super hype of superhumans, and that we can be gods. They are truly demonic. Weird. Not just that, but each person who has been abducted has said it has been the most horrible feeling they could have ever felt. Is Igigi Grey's. All you must say is the name of one being that out-trumps them all, that will put them into another state in honor, a diminished state. For they do plan their return, a false flag, alien invasion, when really it's these demonic types of beings. These ones that wish to possibly put you into fear, just to get them, you into submission, to keep you away from Christ, the head of days. Yahweh, Jesus, the one who suffered, the Word of God, for he was with God from the beginning. And he created all things, and man will soon find that out. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, but choose wisely. You mention his name, and these demonic presences will flee immediately. There's no time left. Give yourself to him today, please. Thank you.